What's going on? Flatline Blades here. We got something different. It's been out for a minute, so some people have seen this. Some people are gonna not understand why anybody would even have it. In a way, it's a novelty. In a way, though, I think for occasionally having it here or there, not thinking you're gonna do a bunch of actual work with it, I give you the James Nomad all-tie version. When I originally decided I wanted this knife, I was on a serious carbon fiber kick, and that's the one I originally was going to get. After thinking about it and looking at the design and how it moves, I realized that it could be beneficial for several reasons to have the tie one, which weighed a little more than a whole ounce more. I thought it made more sense to have more weight to make it easier to swing depending on what you're wanting and trying to do with this. Because this thing does do some crazy stuff that you can't do with other knives. And hopefully, some of them I can actually get on camera because it's kind of weird to try to do these sitting at a desk. But it's very interesting. To make a very long story short, my grandpa had a knife way back when, and I had that thing for a couple of years. It was basically a smaller, cheaper version of this same knife. Some people call it a tri-way, a three-way, trifold. It's also known as a swing blade. It swings. You want to see something you can't really do with any other knife? Yeah, it's ridiculous. So it spins that way and it spins that way. Y'all already saw that. I'm not going to sit here and try to make the video all about that. So basically there's just a big pivot. This swings around and it has this to cover the blade, and when you rotate it, it uncovers the blade, but now this becomes your handle. Now the big elephant in the room that's pretty clear and obvious, this is not locking into position anywhere. And because it spins both ways, it's not rock solid. But I will say this. When I posted this on some of the Facebook groups, some people immediately just jumped all over this thing, acting like it was a absolute, complete, worthless piece of crap, and didn't understand how or why I would have possibly ever got this. It's very simple, sentimental value. My grandpa is 95 years old. I've been real serious into knives. I saw, and not only that, it happened to be on sale because I guess just nobody's really buying them. I've thought of 2 different ways I can make this thing lock, and I think it would dramatically change how people would perceive it. But that's not something I'm going to get into on this video. So, like I've been doing, sorry. I'll put it down one more time just to make sure. So we got 5.36 on the scale. This thing is pretty big. This is a 4-inch blade with about 3 1/3 actual cutting edge. The handle on the knife, I guess it depends on where you want to look at that from. We'll go past the pivot, past there, to where this actually just folds right here. That is about 4 1/2. So we got 8 1/2 inch total. It's approaching 5. I mean, I'll be honest. It's about 8 3/4. So yes, because of the design, it is slightly dangerous if you're not paying attention, if you're not thinking about stuff. But I realize that you can pay attention to the logo and know if it's upside down or right side up. When it's on the right side, when you rotate it and fold this over, the logo will be right side up. Which means that when you have it outright, when it's closed, the logo's upside down. But that's your way of knowing that it's blade down. Very interesting. So, rating the action on this thing is very interesting because there's a little bit of some wobble here. The thing does not have absolute lockup. This slightly has a little wiggle, but it's extremely tight tolerances. This thing's barely sliding by. And for what it is and how it works, it actually has a lot better lockup than you'd give it credit for. And the reason I say that is because when you grasp this, the thing's not going anywhere. But I will say, if you try to use this for hardcore, this thing is going to somehow move and tilt on you. And what you're going to have to worry about then is your hand getting pinched when this thing is moving. You see what I'm saying? So, action is completely unique. You're not going to find anything else like it. I don't even know how to rate it on that. Ergos, it's very flat every direction. It does have some jimping to help, have it in your hand. Pros and cons, I mean, the truth is this thing's more of a toy than anything. It's a cool novelty. The fact that I was able to get it half price and it was a Christmas present and I got it solely because my grandpa gave me one when I was a kid. The same design, just a lot smaller. I think it was a Schrade or a Smith & Wesson from way back then. So even though I've been doing a new thing where I rate it and I say scores for action, ergos, price, it does have the it factor because it's completely unique. And if this did not have someone bought it for me, because this is my only knife I have, I didn't buy now, so it is a keeper for that reason and that reason alone. If that was not the case, would I keep this? Ooh, I'll be brutally honest, probably not. I would probably have it, take some pics with it. It'd be a cool conversation piece. But it'd probably be just that. So, Flatline Blades, this video went longer than it should have. Love you guys. James Nomad, Swing Blade.